Hi everybody, Sandy here with My Mini Homestead and welcome back. I know it's been months since I posted a video, but I've been taking videos and then I ended up on crutches recently for a couple of weeks, so I actually had time to do some editing. That's the hard part, is editing. So with the fires we had this summer, the extreme heat, trying to get all the beds built, etc. in the greenhouse, I really didn't have time to edit. Now I do. So I'm going to start a 3-part series on the poolside garden here. This was a lot of work that we had to get done. Basically, we built 4 garden areas, what I call the poolside garden, the upper garden, the lower garden, and the greenhouse. Oh, and I forgot, we have 2 flower beds that we also put in. So it was a crazy busy summer, and I'm going to get to it and show you what we actually accomplished this year. So let's cue the intro. This is what our backyard looked like end of August 2020. The big old Scotch pine has been removed, and it caused a lot of issues to the lawn with dropping pine cones galore. Plan is to replace the lawn this coming spring. Now this is what it looked like around our pool. I have to say it was pretty, but very few roses, and you can't eat them. We decided that it all needed to come out so that we could plant a berry patch, raspberries, blackberries, and blueberries. If we were going to have to do gardening, we want it to be something that we can eat. Here I have large pruners and welding gloves. My uncle had suggested them, so we headed off to Princess Auto, which is a store that we have here in Canada. I would say it's similar to Harbor Freight in the States. I'm cutting back the branches on the rose bushes, as my original plan was to use a jackal to pull them out with a chain, but you will see I came up with a better plan later. I'm throwing all the cuttings onto a tarp below on the pool deck. As you can see here, Mom is helping to haul all the cuttings down to the back gate so we can haul it all to the dump. Once I had the end of the garden done, I then started on the rose bushes along the side. We also had them in the front flower garden and also what we would call the orchard flower garden. I think in total we had about 30 or 35 all said and done. Hi, it's the 7th of February. We had snow a couple days ago, just like 3/4 of an inch. We did have some really beautiful sunshine this morning, but it has disappeared. And I have got to get out here. Like, I've got the rose bushes here cut back. I have to pull them out. But I'm going to start pulling or cutting back on the blue spruce. What I need to do is get them cut out or get all the branches trimmed off so I can actually get in there. I got to get all the mulch removed. I got to get to the fabric that's underneath that, the garden fabric, so that I can actually pull all the roots out. Because the fabric is just locked around the roots and it makes it really difficult. So today I am going to see if I cannot get all of these cut down and ready to be pulled out and get the mulch ready to be moved out of the area as well. So we'll see what I can get done today. Once again, I'm using my large pruners and welding gloves to trim back the branches of these trees. I was told that these shrubs are blue spruce. Whatever they are, those needles are crazy sharp. The plan is to use the jackal for pulling these out, which you'll see later. I wish that I could actually work this fast. Sure could get a lot more done in a day. Oh well, wishful thinking. Here I am down to the last few trees, and what you don't see because I cut it out is that there's a bit of a slope and I hit a slippery spot and landed on my keister. What's not so graceful, and the great thing about editing is you can cut out those parts. I also top each of the trees as I go, just so that the tree is not so long once I pull them out of the ground, and it'll make it easier to handle them. Next, I am just piling all of the branches above. If I had been thinking about it at the time, I would have dumped them over onto the pool deck on top of a tarp, but I did not think about that in time. These just all get added to the pile down by the future potting shed. Hi everybody, it's a couple days since I cut all these trees back to stumps so that I can pull them out, and plans have changed. We were going to put the raspberries and the blackberries here, but I think we've changed what we're going to do, and I'm going to show you. Now that the trees are all cut down, it really opened up this space. So the plan is we're going to move the raspberries and blackberries to the side of the house, and I'll show you that later. But you can clearly see our upper garden now, and we're going to turn this all into garden beds. So right here with the cement, it's at a perfect height. I can just lean over and do some gardening right here. So we're going to put in a couple garden beds here, put some other beds up above, and this will become one of our main garden areas. So really excited about it because it looks, I mean, it's amazing. It just opened it right up. So the one thing this just proves is plans can change. Hi everybody. Today is February 24th and it is a beautiful day out here today. So I am up to finish working on, well not finish, to continue working on the poolside garden. So I'm going to be moving the mulch out where the roses are and the blue spruce so that I can start pulling those roses out and the blue spruce, that's it, so I can get them all pulled out. So I'm just going to get this up by the pool and start cleaning that out. So I've got the tarp set up at the bottom here, the edge of what's going to be the poolside garden, and I'm going to start from this end, rake as much of the mulch as I can over on this side. Then I'll just go down the side, rake it all down, and bring it in here. It's going to be a pain going around the roses, of course, but we'll see what I can get done. I got a pretty big pile back there and happy with that. So basically what I was able to do is, I'll show you, was able to get the top layer off, and then underneath that was a bit frozen. So I chipped away at some of it, but I'm hoping now I have enough off it that once it thaws, that I'll be able to pull up the garden fabric. So that'll be my next stage, is to pull that out and then get these bushes out of here. So next job. In the garden, it is March 5th, and we're going to see if we can't get all the shavings out and then make a start, pull up the garden fabric and make a start at getting these rose bushes all pulled out so I can get the cold frame built on Sunday and get it in here and get the ground warmed up so I can start getting some veggies outside. It's exciting. I can't wait to see what it looks like when it's done. I've got all the mulch pulled out. Next will be to remove the garden fabric. Okay, it's a cold one out here today. It's the 7th of March and the weather's really changed. Oh, there is blue sky there. I'm hoping it's coming this way. It's gotten dark over on the mountain on the other side of Okanagan Lake. So this is a point where I've gonna work smarter, not harder. I went and posted all these rose bushes online, free to anybody who wants to come dig them up. And I had a huge number of people contacting. So I've got 2 people coming first thing this morning, and we'll see how many of them are gone. One wants 15, one wants 5 or 6, and I think I have enough to meet that request. So we'll see what happens. Last Sunday, I guess last Friday, I advertised that I had free rose bushes for anybody who wanted to come and dig them out. And I think I have 2 left that I have to dig out, and that is it. So now it's time to try and dig these tree stumps that I have left, so I can get the cold frame in here and get some little hoops set up and get some veggies out here. What Mom and I are doing is using a jackal to pull up the blue spruce shrubs. What I did was create a tripod with a jackal and 2 pieces of 2x4. I measured the length of the jack and then added 4 inches to that length. I then drilled a hole through the 2 ends of the 2x4s and then bolted them to the top of the jack. I attached the chain to the base of the jack, wrapped the chain around a few times on the base, hooked it back to the jack, and then started to jack it out. When the chain tightens, you hear some of the roots start to break, but for the most part, it pulls out the roots. If the ground is too soft, I put a paver under the base of the jack. The first several shrubs came out real easy, but then it got difficult, but I'm not going to let it defeat us. All the rose bushes and all the blue spruce have been pulled out. Still got a couple rows, well, I should say, there's 2 rose bushes down at the end where we're going to plant our Honeycrisp apples. And then we got a huge pile we have to haul out. But it looks really good, really happy. Okay, so now all the trees are out, on to my next job. And the next job is trying to pull all the rose roots out. So I got myself a new tool, and we'll see what we can get done with it. Let me show you what I'm dealing with. The roots from the roses came over here, hit the concrete here, and then have grown all along the edge. So now I'm trying to dig all of this out because we don't want it coming back up. So it is going to take me a while. I'm just going to work like 2 feet along the edge all the way down, and then I'll come back and start at the beginning of the middle area and then work my way down there. It's going to take me a while to get all this done. And this is just lovely. Okay, now I have it running wave. So Mom and I have been out here working. We pruned the cherry tree. Ignore the dirty pool, still have to clean it. So the cherry tree down there and the pear tree have been pruned. We've got all this we've been working on. Mom's cleaned up all along the pool because I had a real mess down there from pulling weeds. As you can see, we've had some big ones. So there is the cold frame, and outside it is right around 20, and in the cold frame it's what? 27. It dropped a bit. It was, well, I had it open earlier, that's why. It was up to 30 in there. So just waiting to get the compost, and then we'll get it all set up. But digging this out, taking it about 5-6 inches down, gonna do a 3-foot garden bed, then a 2-foot pathway, and then I'm gonna have a 3-foot wide raised garden bed. So this lovely beast, I had to dig it out of the pathway. That was fun. And as I dig, I just throw everything up the hill. There's my pruners. Grab them. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. And so now I am working at digging all of this out. So as you can see, there's quite a bit of a hill there. Everything, I'll just dig it up, throw it up the hill, and then get the bed in. I'm going to see if I can't find some 6-inch 2x6 12-foot long cedar and use that for the edge of the garden. Then we'll put garden fabric down in the middle, and then we'll have metal beds, I believe, for the raised ones. So it's coming along, and we'll get there one of these days. So while I've been down in the shed working, my mom has been up here working, and yesterday she dug out about 4 feet. Now she says she's doing another 3-4 feet. Can I tell them how old you are? My mom is 78 years old. I mean, this is utterly amazing. How many people know someone that's 78 years old out there digging? Now, mind you, I tell her not to, but she's my mother. I can't make her stop. So Mom and I got it all dug out. At the end there was a lot of digging. So now we're gonna put in the frame around the garden bed. I just gotta go cut a piece, got all our tools, and we'll be ready for the compost coming tomorrow. So that's a wrap on stage 1 of the poolside garden. As you can see, there is a lot of snow outside. Giant's Head is looking really pretty over there. Today it is -16 Celsius. And we've got about a foot of snow. It's been cold. And I'll start my seedlings next month. I need to get my artichokes going, and then I want to get some of my brassicas up and going as well, so I can get them planted out into the greenhouse and sort of get a head start on things. Make sure, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Give the video a like if you found it interesting. And add a note, click on your notify button so you know when my next video is coming up, and that should be shortly. Also, if you want to see all the stuff that we hauled away to the dump, click on the card. Let's see, up here, I think. And I'm going to get that next video ready to go right away. So, Happy New Year's, everybody.